York.
Yeah, O'Neal, a returner, 16 points a game last year for the Nittany Lions. Really tough player. Didn't play against UMBC last year in that game.
4 new starters, as you can see from UMBC. Ace Valentine with the basketball is the lone returner in the lineup tonight. UMBC averaged 80 points per game last year, but only bring back 25. And there's J.K. King with his first hoop.
Yeah, we talk about how this kid can scoot. He can fly. He can shoot from all 3 levels, but loves to get into the basket. Coach Ferry talked about he's never had a player that moves like this kid.
UMBC 5-0 against York in their history, 95-66 last year. UMBC had 5 double-digit scorers in that game. And you mentioned the Maryland game, the exhibition game. The Retrievers had 6 double-digit scorers in that game, losing by 1. J.K. King with the rebound for UMBC. Here's a look at Riley Jacobs, the true freshman from Alexandria. And that one is stopped inside the lane by James Barlow, their big center. Caden Diggs to the basket. His first hoop as a Retriever, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, we talked about the 6'7" sophomore forward transfer from Old Dominion. Just an athletic player, man. When he gets his confidence and gets the game slows down a little bit for him, he's a special talent, and UMBC is real lucky to get him out of ODU.
6'8", 195, a native of Waldorf, Maryland, went to the Bullis School, one of the local private schools in the D.C. metro area, I should say. Completes the three-point play, and it gives the Retrievers an early three-point lead. King on the defense here, backed out. John Godinez, their ball handler. He's out of Baltimore from Parkville High School. In fact, Matt Rotundo has a director of scouting, basically, Josh Chernak, who is from Baltimore, coached at Parkville. And here's a turnover now for York underneath. There's a look at Jim Ferry now in his 5th season here at UMBC.
Jim Ferry typically doesn't talk about how excited he is about a team going into a season. He wants to be real conservative. This year, he flat out came in and says, I'm really excited about this team. I think we can do some special things.
Well, it's quite a different team, and we'll talk about it throughout the broadcast. Much more depth in the front court this year. And he identified that as a weakness, as we all did last year, rebounding, especially on the offensive glass.
Yeah, he went out and got some kids. Again, we talked about, Caden Diggs, transfer, but also one of the D2 players we didn't talk about yet was Hode Tanchin, and that kid is a big kid, can help inside.
Nice move by Godinez all the way to the basket, breaking that double team. And John Godinez, the kid from Parkville High, will go to the line. Watch it here.
Yeah, Godinez taking it to the basket, strong. Getting it in there. He averaged 12 points a game last season for this squad, so returning player with a lot of experience.
Early substitution, Joey Valerio checks in for York, a 6'7" junior from Chagrin Falls, Ohio, a transfer from Johnstown Community College in New York. Godinez at the free throw line, cannot complete the three-point play, and the rebound comes down to Diggs. Front court now for King, so they've got King and Valentine in the backcourt at the same time. Armstrong will play the wing. Here's King for 3. Long rebound for Diggs. Kept alive by UMBC. Valentine missed most of the summer, Rick, and most of the fall, really, in practice.
Yeah, has not played in the previous exhibition or scrimmage, and probably was going to come off the bench tonight if Josh Uduna was ready to go.
Blocked underneath by Diggs on the trip to the lane by Wells. Nice dish underneath Jacobs, and he's fouled. And Riley Jacobs, a lot of upside here. Let's watch the block again.
Down the lane, and Jacobs just gets real tall and finishes on that block. But that was Diggs.
Jacobs on the inbound, working on Valerio, gets the roll. First collegiate hoop for that young man.
A nice spin move, a little jump hook, kind of a floater jump hook, kind of an odd-looking shot there, but got it to go.
True freshman from Alexandria. Nice pressure from UMBC in the corner. Here's Neal out of the basket again. A nice left-hander off glass.
Real Neal, nice move through the lane on the Retrievers. Finishes the lefty off the glass.
1-point game, 4 minutes in. This is a team, York, that, they come here. They don't even play in the NCAA. They're in the USCAA. But they've got game.
No, we did 2 years ago. It was a close game in the first half. Last year they played UMBC even in the second half. So, this is a big spotlight for this squad. They love coming in here and playing Division I school and see how they match up.
And Baltimore is an important market for them. They got 3 players on the roster from the area, including a starter in Godinez. Matt Rotundo, their head coach, does a great job. They've won 20 or more games in 6 of their last 7 seasons. Godinez at the buzzer, kept alive by Neal. Nice look underneath, and the basket goes to Valerio.
Yeah, nice dish by Neal down to Valerio for the putback. On the offensive rebound, UMBC's got to clean up the defensive rebounding.
York in the lead about 4.5 minutes into the game. Valentine to the basket. Ace Valentine, and there'll be a timeout on the floor here with 15-19 left to go in the first half.
8 minutes per contest. What role will he have on this team? We're not sure yet, right? There are 3 guys that are out injured tonight. Devin Caesar, Paul Green, and we mentioned Josh Udunawo. And then Dalen Dickerson. How does he fit into rotation? Again, nice show last week against Maryland.
23 minutes against the Terps, 6 of 8 from the field, 16 off the bench. All the points scored here tonight, Rick, from inside the paint. No 3-pointers for either team.
I think both these teams are just, again, this is their first real game of the season. They're just kind of feeling each other out. Typically, you want to kind of penetrate inside. UMBC, from an offensive standpoint, they want to penetrate inside, get the defensive collapse, and kick out those wide open threes. And we haven't seen a lot of that yet. But that's kind of UMBC's offense. They don't run a lot of set plays. It's a conceptual offense where defense is going to dictate where you go offensively, and we'll see how that progresses here in this game.
UMBC still with its starting 5 out there. Ace Valentine, another block here, this time from Riley Jacobs. Man, can he get up.
Yeah, he can get up, but how about Terrell Neal? Just kind of take it to the basket on the big man. But, yeah, the freshman saying, wait a minute, don't come in here in my house. Out of here.
Jacobs, a 6'8" freshman from Alexandria, 10 on the shot clock here for York. Valerio back to the basket, that's too strong, rebound Jacobs. UMBC, and you talked about it earlier, they'll run, but they're not going to be the UMBC from a couple of years ago, taking that first shot.
Exactly. They shot within the first 7 seconds of the shot clock typically the last couple of years. This is a different group. This group can score from 3. They can score in the mid-range, and they can take it to the basket and get fouled. So we're going to see a lot more patience on this team possibly than running up and down the court getting quick shots.
Here's a look at Matt Rotunda, the head coach at Penn State York. Quite a resume he's put together, taking over for Parrish Petrie, the legendary Parrish Petrie in York, PA. Multiple 20-win seasons, 6 out of the last 7, and multiple USCAA tournament berths nationally. Quite a program he's built here. Will continue the tradition built by Petrie. Substitution, Charles Warren, a senior from Gettysburg, has checked into the game wearing number 3 for York. 9 seconds to shoot. Also checking in, Donnell Campbell, a junior from East Harlem, New York. Here's Wells now, letting it fly. This one off the heel of the basket. Cougar Downing has checked in for UMBC, wearing number 21. He is a redshirt fifth-year player from Atchison, Kansas. This one goes out of bounds. It'll be York ball. Look at the York bench there.
Yeah, Dalen Dickerson does check into the game, so we're going to see what kind of run he has this evening. Again, had that fantastic game last week against Maryland. Also in for the Retrievers.
14, Jose Tanchin.
Jose Tanchin, yeah, into the game.
The junior from Spain was at Palm Beach Atlantic last year. Again, 5 D2 players. We'll talk about this a little later, Rick, but Jim Ferry calls them the misfits. Not in a negative way, but in a positive way. And Tanchin rips it away from York. Looks like he got into it with Charles Warren. It'll be UMBC ball.
Yeah, to take that statement that you just made, he talks about, again, in a great way, like Division II guys, right? He's got 5 and there's Jose there. 5 Division II guys who come in. They got to prove that they can play the Division I label, right? Because no one, when they were in high school, thought they could play at this level. They got things to prove. There are other transfers. A couple guys from ODU. We talked about Caden Diggs and then Devin Caesar. He's out today. He had to transfer out ODU because things weren't going well for them. They've got to prove themselves at this level as well. So I think a lot of things to prove for this squad this season.
Nice take to the basket here from Cougar Downing. Just checked in his first 2. Retrievers up by 3. Backcourt now is Downing along with King. At the wing is Armstrong. DJ on the defense there. Checking in now 33 for York. That's Avon Myers. Tanshin commits the foul outside the lane. Clock stops with 13-12 now left in the first. Retrievers up by 3 in the season opener. You talk about guys that have to prove themselves. I mean, even the returners have to prove themselves. Well, they only won 13 games last year.
Absolutely, and that was the third point of that conversation is they had a bad season last season, and they needed to figure out whether these guys that came back can play and prove that they can be winners as well. And then the coaching staff, they need to prove themselves as well. So it's kind of, when he talks about we're all misfits, we're all in this thing together, you know, he's got a group of guys that have to demonstrate what they're doing.
Stolen away by King with the reverse layup, it won't go. And now a turnover here for York on the comeback play. It was Myers throwing it away. A break for UMBC. And an unhappy coach.
Yeah, and that Rotunda just, you know, got a chippy missed layup on one end and was able to push the pace, and just an unforced error.
Jelikai King with the steal. Valentine creating in the lane, dish out. Dickerson, here's Pops for 3. And trying for the rebound in the corner was Warren, and he tips it out of bounds. So Retrievers with a couple of breaks here. They get the turnover on the sideline, unforced. And now they get the rebound on the out of bounds off York.
With so many new players, really on both squads, you know, Penn State York has a bunch of new guys as well, but on UMBC specifically with 9 new guys, it takes time. You know, chemistry just doesn't happen overnight. They've been working out all summer, but until you get in a game situation, it still takes, you know, to know where the guy's going to be, where their tendencies are going to, what their tendencies are. It just takes time to build that chemistry. So we're seeing some of that right now in this game.
Downing this off the back of the rim. Tanshin keeps it alive. I think one of the things you work on as you develop is your spacing. If your spacing isn't right, and a lot of times you say you don't know the player's tendencies, that throws everything off. Downing with a miss from 3. And York survives that. That was a possession for UMBC that went on forever.
Yeah, it was 3 possessions for UMBC, and they couldn't knock one down. Again, both teams just a little sloppy right now, still trying to find their way in their first regular season game of the 25-26 season.
Thomas Lockery checking in for his first action for York. Still just a 3-point game, 8 minutes into it. Opening night here at UMBC. College basketball officially opened last night. A couple of games here in Baltimore. Maryland came down and beat Coppin State. UMBC will play Coppin State later this season. King with a reach in here. The foul be called on JK. And a timeout on the floor. Now 11:43 left to go. JK King for UMBC. The Retrievers lead it.
You know, feel the way through this initial game.
You know, we should mention, we just saw him on the bench. RC Regimontes Tunis is out for the year with an ACL injury to the same knee he did a couple of years ago. What a just a tough luck career it's been for him. Back to the action here. York in the road blue with 11:30 left to go in the half. Wide open 3, top of the key, taken by Campbell, air ball. And the ball gets turned over now to UMBC. Retrievers going with Armstrong and Valentine, Downing, Tanshin, and Dickerson for the Retrievers.
And York's played zone here a number of times in this first half. And I know one of the things we talked last week, there you go.
First 3-pointer.
With Jim Ferry was they haven't worked a whole lot against the zone yet. So this might be new to them seeing. But in a zone, what you need is work that ball around, just like UMBC did there. Maybe go inside out and find your open shooters. DJ Armstrong, we talked about him at the top of the broadcast. Really a prolific scorer, can shoot that 3. He's probably going to be their top 3-point shooter this season.
It was 8-7 York a few moments ago, and now the Retrievers on a 7-0 run. Jumper inside the lane is no good, but drawing the foul. Francisco Matai. Let's take a look at Armstrong on the 3. This is a proven scorer, Rick.
Yeah, you got to move the ball against the zone. You know, get inside, take a look inside, and then kind of swing it before the defense can catch up with the ball. DJ Armstrong for 3.
1,094 points coming into the season in his college career. 272 three-pointers. So last year you had Marcus Banks, the marksman for UMBC, and it looks like Armstrong is going to take over that role.
Yeah, I think he's going to be their three-point shooter for sure. Where Banks, you know, he lived from out there. I think DJ's got a more versatile game in that he'll go inside, get to the rim, also has a mid-range shot.
0 for 2 from the free throw line from Ncaa. UMBC still up by 6 here, now coming up on 10:30 here in the half. Dickerson, explosive. Pull up by Valentine in the lane.
Ace Valentine, do a little dribble drive, pump fake, mid-range shot.
Did not play against Maryland the other night down in College Park.
Yeah, this is really his first opportunity to play against anybody else but his team. He just really started practicing full last week.
Backdoor, good idea, but the pass is incomplete, as it were. Another turnover here for York. Substitution, Tony Benkovic comes into the game. His dad, Ron, is a Penn State York alum. Like father, like son.
Yeah, Rotunda talked about this kid just played himself into playing time. He just was a walk-on, and this has proved himself ahead of a lot of other guys on the roster.
Good ball movement again, but Jacobs is short on the three. Fighting for the rebound in the corner, though, is Dickerson, stepped out. And it'll be York ball with less than 10 minutes to go in the half. Retrievers averaged 80 a game last year, just shy, 79.9. They only bring back about 28% of their scoring from a year ago. Bryce Johnson gone, Marcus Banks gone. The two main shooters accounting for 55% of their three-pointers.
And Louis Jordan as well.
Jordan also gone. Nice touch from the outside. Here's Gudinez out of Parkville High School. Nice floater in the lane. He's shown us a lot of stuff here early on.
He certainly has. That was a nice, really patient up and under move. And a little floater in the lane.
Armstrong. And Gudinez.
Yeah, Matt Rotunda wants them to slow it down. Don't want to get into a running game with UMBC.
The complexion of this Retriever team, Rick, we talked about it before the game began. Really, they've been much more guard-oriented the last 3 or 4 years. Not a lot of depth on the front line, but this year a little bit different. They got 4 or 5 guys they hopefully can count on down low. Benkovic with the try. Good ball movement, Dickerson. And he'll travel with the basketball.
You called it, Gary. That was great ball movement. That's what you got to do. You want to move that ball and let the defense never catch up with the ball. Dalen Dickerson had a wide open three. You got to take that shot. I know he was hesitated, pump fake, moved his feet because he was unsure what he wanted to do and got the travel call, but he's got to knock that shot down.
King checks back in the game. You see him. Caden Diggs also back. Another turnover here for York.
Terrell Neal, offensive foul on the illegal screen. I think if you're Penn State, you're going to be happy kind of how this game's going right now. It's kind of slowed down. It's a low-scoring game. Be able to play at the pace that you want to play at. And right now, UMBC struggling from the floor at 37%.
6 of 16 from the floor, just 1 of 8 from three-point land. Barlow was checked back in for York. Big center, senior out of Suffolk, Virginia. And that'll cure a lot.
That's absolutely will. And that's exactly what UMBC wants to do. They want to penetrate into that zone or man, wherever they're playing, and then kick it. And that's where King found himself wide open with a beautiful pass by Ace Valentine.
He's moved into the lead tonight with 5 points. Jalakai King, transfer from University of New Haven, a junior. Averaged 12 points per game last year. And he's going to be the point guard, at least sharing it with Ace Valentine throughout the year. And now they're on the floor at the same time. Gudinez couldn't get it off. A shot clock violation, another turnover for York. And a timeout on the floor with 7:30 left to go. And I mean, you know, death always at the end of the day. But this is a team that, you know, annually wins 20 games at their level, and they come in here and they really do a good job.
It seems eventually the game, they get worn out by the athleticism, the size difference, and all that. But they are always competitive at some point during these games. How about DJ Armstrong? We talked about him being a three-point shooter. They got to find that guy. He's just a scorer and just a great opportunity out of that timeout.
Yeah, DJ Armstrong wearing him out here with a couple of threes. That lead now up to 12. 22-10 is our score. Penn State shooting just 35% from the field. Offensive rebound here for Barlow keeps it alive. Less than 7 minutes now to play in the half. Up to the basket for Wells. It's short. And King now looking to push the pace here for UMBC. Diggs open. Barlow for York. Barlow 34 inside for York, obviously wearing those shades to protect his eyes. Godinez is trying to break down Diggs. 10 to shoot here for York. Godinez again to the basket.
Taking the much taller Diggs to the rack. Inside, nice finish.
A lot of patience underneath for John Godinez now. He's got 6 points, half of the scoring for Penn State York. DJ inside the lane on Barlow. 10 to shoot, here's King. JK from the corner, drains the three.
Yeah, good patience by UMBC. That's what we talked about. Maybe a different team this year and moving that ball around, being patient on offense, trying to get the better shot than a quick shot. And there's a good example there by JK King.
That's 2 threes now for JK King, and he leads the Retrievers with 8 points. So King with a pair, Armstrong with a pair, 4 for 7 from downtown for those two. Godinez again. Little drop step. John Godinez.
How about that move? He got body in there, pushed the guy off, step back, mid-range.
Single-handedly keeping York in the game. 8 of their 14.
Nice move. Nice move by DJ, just could not finish.
Rebound to Palmer. Corey Palmer, also from Baltimore. Played at Cecil Community College, but they throw it away. Valentine looking to create. Diggs with Barlow. Rejected by Barlow. And now out of bounds off Diggs.
Yeah, I thought Ace Valentine, Ace Valentine said I should have shot the ball. He had a great move down in there, but how about this kid?
Back to this guy.
Yeah, look at the push-off. Oh, Michael Jordan against Utah in the championship game. Push off and finish the 14.
The floater with 1 foot off the floor.
How about that?
John Godinez is a local product out of Parkville High School. 5'8" senior, maybe 5'8".
Yeah, he's not 5'8". Sorry about that, man, but he's got game.
He certainly does. 8 points on 4 of 5 from the field, and he's got a rebound. So there you go. 15 to shoot here for Penn State York. 4:30 to play. Godinez again creating. Godinez floater. This one won't go.
Yeah,
Tanchin was in the way.
Yeah, a little too big for Tanchin.
Nice steal. Here they come. Wells all alone. Quentin Wells makes it a 9-point game.
Wells' first 2 points of the game. Last year he lit up UMBC in that game.
At 22.
Yeah.
You can't get sloppy against this team.
Well, and you give them a lot of confidence. I mean, they're playing in this game and feeling real well. And how about that?
JK drills it.
Talking about feeling well. King knocks down another 3.
That's 3 for Jalakai King. 5 for 13 as a team for UMBC, just shy of 39%. 12-point game with 3:40 to go. Wells with Armstrong. Tanchin gets his hand in there, strips it away.
Lob.
King.
Hello. Oh. King Diggs was calling for the lob. King threw it up there, just missed time.
And the other way, they make him pay with Neal to the basket.
Gerald Neal to the basket. Nice finish on the fast break. Eze in the game.
Nice basket for Eze, the sophomore from Ontario, Canada. probably rooted for the Blue Jays the other day.
Oh, yeah. How about that? Oh, what a series.
What a great game. What a series is right. What a great 7th game that was. One of the all-time greats. 3-pointer short put up by Wells. Diggs looking to push it. And stolen away by Wells again. And Wells throws it down, and Jim Ferry wants a timeout.
Move like him, as quick as him, quick hands, get to the basket, and he can shoot. Demonstrating it here in the first game here in Retriever uniform with 11 points and 4 for 8 shooting, just getting after it.
And you know what his life goal is, Rick?
What is his life goal?
He wants to be a NASA scientist. I kid you not.
And I'm just like you when you were a young kid like that.
Yeah, but
look what you're doing.
But he may do it.
He's going to shoot another one. Bang!
I tell you what, he's on his way.
Yeah.
That one launched from space.
Let's keep talking about him. Yeah, kid's feeling it.
Malachi King now with 4 3-pointers in the game. He's got 11 points, 4 of 8 from not downtown, from outer space. How about that?
There you go.
33-20 is the score with 2 minutes left to go in the half. Here's Godinez again. He'll launch one. This one from outer space.
Did that hit bank?
I don't think so. I think it was the back of the basket.
Okay.
But what about John Godinez? 11 points on 5 of 7 from the field, and that's their first made 3-pointer of the game. Downing is rejected, gets
nice
it
touch.
back, and Tanchin underneath.
Yeah, nice pass, nice touch pass down to Tanchin for the finish.
That's Tanchin's first bucket as a collegian in a UMBC uniform. Here's Godinez. What more can he do? Picked up by Downing. Godinez inside the lane. Look at this. Wow.
What more can he do? Just keep filling it up.
Well, he's got 13 of their 27.
He did not play in this game last year because we'd have remembered that.
That is the truth.
Wow, Dalen Dickerson.
Remember that.
Dalen Dickerson, so athletic, got up in the air in that offensive rebound and put back.
So Godinez with 13 of Penn State York's 25. For Dickerson, that's his first bucket. 45 seconds to go. Retrievers will get another possession here.
They may want to double team this kid, get the ball out of his hands, see if anybody else can beat you.
Well, they got Eze on him.
How about double team?
Now they do. They show double.
Oh, man.
Godinez gives it up with 1 second on the shot clock. And the Retrievers will have the final 25 seconds to play. And now York will take the timeout here. We'll keep it here with 25.4 to go. So John Godinez.
He's a treat to watch.
He really is.
I mean, 5'8", okay, whatever his size is, he's getting after it. And you got a bunch of 6'8", 6'7", 6'9" guys chasing him around the court. He's just a fire plug.
Yeah, and he's not like he's doing it from outside because he can't get inside. No. He's doing it basically all from inside. Yeah. For UMBC. So not a starter from last year's team on the floor right now for the Retrievers. Last possession here coming up on 10. Why not King here? And fouled with 2.4 left. JK will go to the line.
Nice recognition by JK King to find a seam in the lane and get in the lane. I'm not sure he was going to try to shoot that or pass it off, but he certainly got fouled. 14
in the first half for King. Make it 15 now. 5 of 9 from the field. 4 3-pointers for J.K. King. Tanchin checks out and Jacobs checks back in. Barlow back in for York. Also checking in for York is Cameron Carroll, a senior from Lancaster, PA. King at the free throw line, 86% last year, knocks them both down.
UMBC with a little pressure, get that ball back with a second to go.
Find J.K. King.
Now I'm sure they've worked on a play in practice so far for this kind of situation, kind of a last second shot. See what they drew up.
Got to be a catch and shoot here with 1 second to go.
Maybe something at the rim for Jacobs. Back pick, lob. Ooh.
Jacobs get called for the offensive foul as he barged into Tom Lockery. That's his second personal. Retrievers with 2 guys with 2 fouls. Jacobs and Tanchin.
And then on the York side, I'm sure Penn State Yorks drew up something for last second shot, full court as well.
Be a Christian Leitner type play from here, wouldn't it, Rick?
Yeah, they decided not to go for it.
Yeah, there's only one of those. That's the end. Backside for Riley Jacobs. Foul called on Barlow, so Riley Jacobs, the freshman, the true freshman, had a couple blocks in that first half. Will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, and Ace Valentine found him. One of the things that Jim Ferry talked to Ace Valentine about, he was out most of the summer, most of the fall so far with this injury on his leg, is that he take your time. He's don't rush in and have to be your scorer. What I want you to do is to be a leader and pass the ball. And there you see a great example there of penetrating the lane and finding Riley Jacobs going to the basket.
Missed opportunity there for the Retrievers. And those were the first 2 misses from the free throw line tonight for UMBC. There's Neal. Nice move on Diggs, but the rebound, though, for Caden Diggs. No fast break points for UMBC in the first half. That's quite a departure from seasons past.
Yeah, absolutely. But, they're quick enough, and this Jalakai King can fly, so you're going to see some fast break points, certainly. Yeah, if they don't have anything off the initial break, they're more than welcome to just be patient and take their time and get a good shot.
The improvement year over year is really going to have to come on the defensive end. That was something that Jim Ferry stressed to us in the preseason. Nice turnaround here by King.
Yeah, the guy's in his box right now of offensive shots. Got threes, getting in the lane, spin move there. Just got a lot of confidence right now here at this. It's his first game in a Retriever uniform.
8-0 scoring right now for UMBC, half to half. More defense here for the Retrievers. A foul called, though. Impressive
take by Bankovic. I mean, really just right to the basket, going strong, get fouled. But how about this King move? We talked about the plethora of shots he's got. They'll spin move off the defender and, 15-footer for Jalakai King.
The stop and pop. He's got 18 now for the game, 6 of 10 from the field in his UMBC debut.
He really seems comfortable out there, right? He's not forcing anything, just taking what the defense is giving him, getting his shots and converting.
And when we talked to Matt Rotunda, the head coach at Penn State York, this man at the line, number 21, Tony Bankovic, was the guy that he talked about that got hurt. They didn't know what he had.
Yeah.
And then he changed his body completely and has turned into a starting player. Valentine now for UMBC. Hesitation. That won't go. Bankovic pulls it down.
And those are shots Ace Valentine will make. I mean, that's his game, getting inside there, leaning and making shots. He just hasn't been able to play enough for a while, and those things will come to him.
Now, this will be a foul called on UMBC, preventing Barlow. This pass to the basket, so the foul will be called on Ace Valentine. Dalen Dickerson is checking in, and Diggs is sitting down for UMBC. 2 team fouls on the Retrievers here in the second half. That's a miss for Godinez.
Well, he stepped on the sideline, I think, and I think just the aggressive nature of Jalakai King playing defense on him. I think he took the challenge. I'm sure Jim Ferry talked about, great offense, JK, but you got to play defense on this this little kid, and he's closing out on him real well in the second half.
Charles Warren checking back in the game for York. Dalen Dickerson is checked in for Diggs. Valentine with a scoop, that won't go. Godinez, nice feed, good ball movement. Barlow, how about Jacobs right up in Barlow's grill? Riley Jacobs takes on the big man.
Yeah, he does. That was great offense by York, Penn State York, and kind of moving that ball around, penetrating and dishing off in the dunker spot for the big man. But Riley Jacobs just met him at the rim.
Cougar checks into the game for UMBC. Valentine sits down. Cougar Downing had a bucket in that first half. Again, Barlow inside, and Downing was no match for James Barlow.
Yeah, nice lay in by Barlow, but Godinez found the big man inside. Nice little assist.
So Godinez now on the passing end as well.
Oh, there you go.
King.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Well, add that to the repertoire.
I tell you, when you're feeling confident, man, you got it going right now. It's showing up.
Putting a lot on tape for his America East opponents, no doubt. Barlow with Jacobs. Battle underneath. How about Downing in there? King.
Heat check right there.
$17-point game with 16 to play. Up next for UMBC, by the way, they go to Dayton. That is one of the toughest places in the country to play. And a timeout throughout the season. At the line now for Penn State York is Terrell Neal. And the America East update was presented to you by Air Force Reserve. Second of two here for Neal. There's King for UMBC, the high scorer in the game. A 20-point game in his collegiate debut for UMBC. Neal knocks it down. 16-point game with less than 16 to play. King finding Dickerson inside.
Dickerson runs baseline, finds an open seam. JK finds him down low for the flush.
5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal alongside 20 points for J.K. King. Bankovic to the basket, taking on Dickerson. Take a look at the retriever last possession and the good look from King.
Yeah, great look from King. Dalen Dickerson running the baseline, gets overcommitted by the defender. Takes to the basket for an easy layup and dunk.
And now, meanwhile, on the other one, Bankovic back at the line. That's 2 nice drives.
Yeah, I tell you, he gets out on the wing of the ball and sees a seam down the lane. He's gone. It doesn't matter who's in the way. Just the kid goes strong right through people.
And this is the young man we were talking about. Matt Rotunda was talking about him, how he completely changed his body, lost weight after the injury, and has turned into quite the player. And hits both free throws here. So it's a 16-point game. 47-31. Tanchen back in the lineup for UMBC. The give back from King, couldn't handle it. Godinez, 1-on-3, will pull up. And a foul underneath on York. That's the 3rd personal on Bankovic, and he'll sit down.
But that's an aggressive play, so you don't mind that from a kid. When we talked about how he attacks the basket, so he attacked the board there.
Corey Palmer checks in from Baltimore, went to Woodlawn High School. Downing for 3, that's going to be off. And helped out underneath, it's off of Campbell. Or Palmer, I should say.
In the past, UMBC has been really effective on these end-out bounce plays. Let's see if they draw something up here and get something.
So that didn't hit the rim, so the shot clock's still in effect. King off rim and glass, no good. Rebound comes down to Palmer. Charles Warren back in the game, senior off the bench. Godinez 0 for 2 here in the second half. After a 6 for 8 first half. He's got the basketball with 10 to shoot.
And JK's been in his hip the entire second half.
Palmer won't go. Weak side rebound is pulled down by King. Off the floor. Ball movement. Barlow was in the way of Valentine.
We talked about, he's Valentine's. He's getting some good looks. Those are his shots. He'll knock those down once he gets his legs under him.
And
nice dish. Barlow with the flush inside.
Kneel to Barlow. Barlow played just 3 games last year, suffered a broken hand early in the season, knocked him out for the year. But what a difference maker he can be. Downing wide open. Launches one and drops it through.
That's inside-out basketball. Dalen Dickerson rolling down the lane with the ball. Gets collapsed on by the defense. Everybody leaves. Cougar Downing outside for a wide-open 3.
First of the night, got 5 points for Cougar. Stolen away by Dickerson. And now a foul on the way back, committed by Palmer.
Nicky Lyons fouls on number 12, Corey Palmer. First personal foul.
UMBC 46% from the field, including this one here.
Look, everybody collapses on Dalen Dickerson, and I think Ace Valentine says, pass it out here to Cougar. He's wide open.
James Barlow will go to the line. Again, he missed all of last year except for 3 games. Now, he played against UMBC in the opener.
Yep, had 6 points in that game last season, but he just attacks. He's just a big body, attacks the room.
Got inside Tanchin, and Tanchin commits the foul. James Barlow protecting the eyes. 6'9" senior from Suffolk, Virginia. Was all league at Virginia Junior College. Tay checks back in the game. Tanchin sits down. King sits down. Armstrong and Jacobs have checked back in for UMBC.
We talk about the depth on this UMBC team this year. Again, it's early in this season. We really can't tell for sure, but boy, they can go 10, 12 deep and not miss a lot, it seems, to this squad.
I mean, pretty much all of the guys that have played tonight are going to play, and 3 guys are out.
Yep, exactly.
Dickerson, Barlow in the way.
I almost stood up out of my seat, Gary.
You did. And
he clutched back, was going to tomahawk that.
But
that's how athletic he is, man.
Barlow said no.
Watch this. Take a look.
Watch it here.
He was going to hurt somebody. Barlow there, getting some body on him.
Barlow impressive here in the second half. Here's Neal working on Armstrong. And another block here for Jacobs. Riley Jacobs' second block tonight.
The young man has great instincts. Watch, he comes over from the weak side, anticipating there's going to be baseline opening there, and just goes straight up, gets that block.
Ball in here for York. Diggs back in the game. So you got Diggs and Jacobs. Barlow leaning in. Somehow Barlow gets that back. Shot won't go though, buzzer. Oh, nice move by Valentine, the kick out. Armstrong. That is how it's done.
That is exactly how it's done, Gary. That ball moved from left side, right side, through the baseline, out to DJ for a 3. Just perfect basketball.
DJ with 3. Barlow with a nice move. Gets the freshman up and he slams it down.
Yeah, Barlow's been active on the rim all night, particularly on the boards, but finishes there at the rim.
7 for Barlow, along with 8 rebounds and 2 blocks for Barlow. Valentine working. Jacobs, Barlow again. Last 5 points from Barlow, and there you see him off the floor. Timeout on the floor with always thinking.
Just saying, as a
always
marketer,
thinking, Rick.
As a marketer.
Always thinking ahead.
They wouldn't be lying. Just take off the MD.
Whatever you say.
Tiffany Tucker just walked by, the athletic director. I'll ask her if she wants to make that change.
You know what? That's a good idea, Rick. Jacobs at the line, second of 2, got them both after missing a pair in the first half. Riley Jacobs now with 3 points in the game. Correction, Jacobs now with 4. He's got 4 rebounds as well. Speaking of rebounds, we'll get into that in a second. That was a phase of the game that Jim Frey wanted to improve this year. Lefty 3 is short. Only the first one taken by York here in the second half. Pressure defense here from Neal. Diggs with a take. And denied by Valerio. Just checked back in the game.
Yeah, it was a great contest at the rim by Valerio with Caden Diggs trying to take it on him to the rim.
And Diggs commits the foul the other way, and this will send
In the game, for Retrievers is number 7.
Penn State York to the line. Eze will check in. Diggs will check out.
At the line, shooting 1 and 1.
You talked about rebounding. Right now, the rebound's pretty much equal for these two teams. And that's one area that, yeah, you mentioned Jim Ferry, they have to improve on. They think they have more front court depth than they've ever had before, but they don't have a big haunching rebounding guy in there that's going to protect the rim and rebound the basketball. Similar to what Barlow is doing for Penn State York, some guy that just dominates the board and attacks the glass. Coach Matt Rotunda's got a guy there that does that. UMBC's got to eventually find that guy, and maybe that guy's on this roster, but right now we haven't seen that role from anybody.
Well, again, two guys that would help out, Josh Odunawo and Paul Green.
Yeah. And we haven't talked much about Paul Green, but you're right, he's a junkyard dog, man. He goes after the basketball. When the Retriever fans get a chance to see him play, I think they're going to see a special player.
DJ for 3, that one's long. Paul Green, a native of the Bahamas. Yeah, the glue guy, the 50-50 ball guy. You got to have that guy.
Well, Jim Ferry said he's the best 50-50 guy he's ever coached, which is amazing based on Jim Ferry's tenure as a coach. The guy just gets after, he's hungry for the ball. So yeah, that's the guy that you want to have on your court.
Two-pointer won't go, launched by Valerio. Ball comes free. Valentine looking ahead. Jacobs. Downing with a miss. A lot of action, but not a lot of result.
We talk about 50-50 balls. Yeah. Somebody's got to go get it. Here's one.
Stripped away from Godinez. Here's Ace Valentine for a bucket.
Great hands by Ace Valentine with that pick and steal. Converted for a layup.
8 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, and a block or I should say a steal for Valentine. 9:17 left in this one. A lower scoring game than we've seen for UMBC against this team. But maybe that's what it's going to be this year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is not a team that's looking to score 89, 90 points every night like in the last 2 years. This team's going to probably have lower scores, probably equal scoring across the board. But I think they can be more as this team develops their chemistry and get a feel for it. But I just don't think you're going to have a huge dominating scoring. But you're going to have nights where guys are going to get off. DJ Armstrong's handling the ball right now. He's the guy that could get you big numbers. But I think they're going to have equal balance scoring all season long from about 6-7 guys.
Well, if the Maryland game was any indication of that, three-pointer here by Valentine. 6 players in double digits in that exhibition game.
There you go. Nice to see Ace Valentine drop a 3. He had a real nice job last year shooting that 3 ball as well as penetrating. A little off today, as we mentioned, going to the basket, but they're going to fall for Ace Valentine because he's a really good player.
Well, he's in double figures now with 11. Three-pointer short, rebound by Valentine. Again, UMBC pushing pace. Valentine. Taken away by Benkovic. Godinez is back in there. Just hit his first bucket of the second half. He's got 15 for the game. Valentine for UMBC. King finding some space. This one long. Eze mistimed the rebound. Nicely done, Godinez.
Yeah, starting to feel it again. Jim Ferry's gonna probably call timeout, get somebody on him.
That's a good look underneath.
Yeah, great pass, Ace Valentine. Finding Riley Jacobs underneath, reverse layup.
6 for the freshman. Valentine with his 4th assist. 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists.
Angelica King back on Godinez.
They have not had any success from three-point land. 1 for 10 tonight. Eze. Offensive. And back to break we go. 6:44 left to go. Retrievers by 20. Looking to close out the Penn State York Nittany Lions.
I said, listen, Coach, I don't say thank you. Like, I love being here. I love the guys we're with. These guys get after it. They play hard. I love playing for this program. And he thanked Coach for allowing him to come back. I mean, that's the kind of culture that this program has built. And you know, every time I come to practice, you know, before a game tonight, these guys are coming here shaking hands with us. I mean, that's the kind of respect they have for the coaches, for people, for adults. And it's a fun team to watch.
It really is. And tonight, they lead the York Nittany Lions by 20. Three-pointer. York again missing from outside. You know, and it is hard these days to get consistency from year to year. King for 3. Talk about consistency. What a night he's had.
5 for 8 from three-point range. Jalakai King just showing it off here. His first night in Retriever uniform.
So what do we have here with Jalakai King? I mean,
again, I think, yeah, he can put these numbers up, but I think it's just going to be, you know, every other night. He might be him, might be DJ Armstrong, but you know, certainly if this is, I mean, he only averaged 16 points a game, or you know, certainly a lower level than they should be on division than they're playing against Division I team UMBC. But still, you've got to play the game. And this York team actually, you know, give them credit, man. They come out to play. They've been patient. They haven't been rattled. They haven't played like they're playing over their they're playing it over their head. They've brought it this evening.
The magician Godinez from the outside, and then of course Barlow on the inside. Godinez on cue.
But you know, if you're Coach Curry, you want to be able to coach something. So you know, he'll be able to come out of this and talk about a little man-to-man defense and staying up on the guy that's been filling the stat sheet.
19 for John Godinez, a native of Baltimore, went to Parkville High School. Offensive rebound, another rejection by Barlow. That's his 3rd block tonight.
We talked to Matt Rotundo about how he keeps those guys there, right? I mean, somebody may be chasing this guy, Barlow, out for way he attacks the board, block shots. Here's Godinez knocking down another.
Foul called here on the inbound.
Rotunda, that we talked about, how's he keep guys there, right? You know, look at Barlow, like he's playing. You don't think he could play Division II somewhere else, or even lower? Like he's really impacted this game.
Yeah.
And he says, listen, you know, at Division II, they don't get a Penn State education, and that's what these kids stay. They stick around because the program's been so good. They get a Penn State degree, which is more valuable than basketball for them right now.
Barlow with 7 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks tonight. King elects not to take it, finds DJ for 3. Armstrong now in double digits. He's got 4 three-pointers. In fact, all his points have come from downtown. King gets a hand in the passing lane. As a foul before the shot, I believe. Let's see if that is true, in fact. Eze comes up a little limp. Looks like he'll be okay. 4:01 left to go.
I think they're going to take a look at something here. Yeah, they're going to take a look to see if it was a flagrant.
The foul's on 20, Thomas Lockery, and you're right, they're going to take a look and see. Officials tonight, Stephen Perry, Gordon Bentley, and Patrick Harwood. They'll consult for the first time the replay.
And the official's going to come over and let us know what's going on.
Matt Rotundo wants to.
Central flagrant foul.
That's what, there you go.
I thought it might be a review for flagrant foul. Yeah, there's the pull down. Tim Eze. I don't think there was any harm intended there by the defender. Just went to pick Tim Eze up, but it did rake. And usually the question is going to be whether there was a pull down. And it looked like they're going to have 2 shots. Tim Eze will get the line for 2, and then they'll have the ball, I believe, on the baseline.
So the foul was called, the flagrant one on Lockery, Thomas Lockery. Let's watch it here.
Yeah, I think it was because he kind of grabbed it and see the kind of the pull down right at his elbow there. There was a pull down versus just trying to take a hard foul. So I think that's kind of where they upgraded him. Yeah, no harm intention. You know, Lockery trying to help him out.
Yeah, I think that's the point. The flagrant foul doesn't have to be an intentional foul.
No, he just sort of, you know, fouled him and just let go of the arm, but the arm pulled Tim Eze down.
So the Retrievers going over it here. They'll have the ball, or they'll have 2 free throws actually, and then they'll get the ball. But they can't play though yet because there's a promotion going on. You gotta
get a ball. You gotta get a golf ball and a pizza slice by Sorrento.
And then you get pizza for like ever.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess that's what you do. I don't know. I know my putting game isn't that good. There's no way I'm making that shot.
This would be a 90-footer, right?
Well, it's right now. The pace of this golf ball is at a pace that we might be here for 3 hours by the time that golf ball gets to the pizza.
The referee pushes it along. And so that's not going to count.
No, that should be a flagrant one on the official by screwing up the promotion.
Right. And maybe even draw a fine.
Draw a fine for that. So what are you doing messing with the sponsorship here?
I know what it is. No pizza for him, 2 weeks.
All right.
Eze at the free throw line, nobody around. Averaged about 7 minutes a game last year for UMBC as a freshman. 4 points a game. He's got some ups.
He does.
Had a couple flashes.
Talking about athleticism, this guy, Tim Eze can get up. And again, just trying to find what minutes are going to be available for Tim Eze. And we've talked about the front court having more depth this year. You know, it includes him. Will he be able to find some minutes in this very crowded front court?
1 of 2 for Eze. The Retrievers will maintain possession. Out of Kleinburg, Ontario.
Retriever ball.
Jake Stout is checked in. Tanshin back in the game. Diggs back in the game. Stout seeing his first collegiate action. Did not appear last year for UMBC. Eze. Tanshin. Rim and glass, no good.
Tanshin actually is a good three-point shooter for a big man. I think you'll see, Retriever fans will see him make some threes during the course of the season.
Barlow inside.
I mean, that guy can play on any team. I mean, he just attacks that glass.
11 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks for James Barlow. Ball fake by Diggs. And the Euro step.
Oh, nice patient move. Yeah, that was nice. Euro step into the lane and the finish. He came out and contested that 3. He was able to get in the lane.
Diggs now 5 points, 7 rebounds. Been held to 17 minutes tonight. Less than 3 to go in the opener. Neal. Nicely done on the left side. Terrell Neal now with 9 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists in the game. And Gudinez overplaying on Valentine forces that turnover.
This is number 5, Jalen Dickerson. In the game for the Nittany Lions is
Dickerson back in the game. From Kaufman, Texas. Shout out. Dickerson started at SMU as a football player, and a big shout out to the Mustangs. They had a nice win over the University of Miami over the weekend.
Yeah.
Rejected by Dickerson. Man, did he get up out of nowhere. And a foul called. And that'll send Miko Persia to the line.
A nice move to the basket by Persia. 3 UMBC defenders attacked him while he went to the basket.
Persia for his first action really here tonight. Knocks it down. Jim Ferry looking on. We'll talk to him hopefully in the postgame. Kept alive by Bankovic, but finally Dickerson pulls it down. 2 minutes to play. And another rejection by Barlow. That's 4 for James Barlow. Eze on a miss from Godinez. .130 left. Dickerson. Stout. Eze. Checked it again, but over the back on Barlow. Boy, James Barlow is just hunting down there.
Yeah, great offensive rebound by Tim Eze, but Barlow was behind him and just tomahawked the block. Probably could have gotten a clean block if it didn't come down hard on it, but just,
Watch
again,
it
he's
here.
just so aggressive. That's a miss. Eze, nice offensive rebound. Look at Barlow behind. Pow. That's a lot of ball there.
That's a lot of ball. It's right.
I think just his strength and body just took Eze down.
Boy, Eze must be exhausted down there.
But you look at a guy like Barlow, again, Division III-ish player, right? He can play, like anybody could use that kind of talent. I mean, you want Tim Eze to be that kind of guy for
That's a
UMBC,
body right there, yep.
I mean, they're similar size. Just go and own the boards. Attack the boards offensively, defensively, get some blocks. The offense will come. But that's a role that a guy like that can be on anybody's team.
Eze, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 14 minutes. Everybody who's entered the game for UMBC has scored except for Stout. 2-pointer up over the front rim and in for Campbell. A minute left to go in this one. Eze can't finish.
I think this is going up.
Wow, everything but the finish there.
Yeah, great move.
Whoa!
Hello! Ace Valentine, Tim Eze, way above the rim.
Talk about owning it.
I told you guys that, so athletic.
Underneath.